guys, so I got an idea today to do a watercolor painting video, and it's gonna be quite an experiment. I have this right here, underneath the watercolor paper. I have this lap desk thing, I guess you call it. It's got like beanbag underneath. So it's propped up against my knees, and this way I can paint and draw stuff for you, and you can be able to see everything that I'm painting. So this is going to be more of a visual trigger, I guess, not much sounds, but I might whisper a couple little things about what I like to paint, you know, as I go. We'll just see, but mostly it will be visual, so let's get started. Wet. When I paint or draw, I tend to not really think about it. Maybe in another video I could show you some of my drawings. I tend to make things very abstract, and a lot of people, my friends will ask me, so what are you drawing? And I'll just say, I don't know yet. That's usually what I say, because I don't know. I start drawing something, and then when I have an idea of what it looks like, you know, what it reminds me of, then I start to add more onto it and make something out of it, and then I decide on, you know, what the title is. Like, sometimes I'll decide on the title, like, oh, this seems like one thing or the other, you know, halfway through, but then once I finish it, it'll seem so much like something else that I'll change my mind. Turn something else. I'm using a small brush right now because even when I do big spaces, I tend to use small brushes. I just do, but since I think I'm going to have this whole background be blue, I think I'll switch brushes. I have brushes over, whoops, use this hand, to the left, which I guess is your guys' right. I really bad the whole mirror imaging thing, but I've got several different brushes. I've got a couple sets of brushes. One is coarser brushes and one is finer. This is the finer brushes, or not, maybe not finer, but nicer, smoother, I don't know. Anyways, and they're also bigger or smaller. One's bigger, one's smaller. Anyways, but I keep them all in a brushes roll up thing. And I've got round ones like this brush, and flat ones like this brush. So I have taken art classes at a few different places. Most of them were not specific to one thing. Only one of them was specific, and that was a photography, Photoshop, editing photographs class. Can't always find what I'm trying to say in my head. But even then, I got to do a lot of different things, and it wasn't as much teaching as helping. Anyways, so I got into doing abstract things, and it just sort of seems to come out of me. My friends are all like really impressed with it. I'm usually not very impressed because it's mine. It's like it's what I always do, so it doesn't seem extraordinary to me, I guess. Which I can't tell if that sounds boastful or modest. You can take it whichever way you think it sounds. Anyways, so that's usually what I do. If I do draw realistic, it's because I'm really trying to do it like, I like to draw dragons sometimes. I've got all these dragon drawing books, and so usually I'll draw those realistic, you know, as really realistic as you can with a creature that doesn't actually exist. But I like abstract because it's so free from like rules, I guess, and not that it's like a rebellious thing or anything like that. It's just my mind. I think a lot of people's minds are like organized and into file systems or things like that, but my mind is very abstract, so I feel like when I draw things or paint things and it's abstract, it's like I'm getting my mind down on paper, and maybe it'll be easier for people to understand me. There's probably some of you out there that can relate to that. Okay, now that I have this random blueness, gotta decide what next I'm gonna do with it. I think I'm gonna switch out brushes again, but I'm still gonna go for a flat one. Smaller flat one though. Let's see. This one seems, it's a little bit, can't quite tell. It's a little bit smaller than the last one. This has a red. This came with a particular kit that I got from something or the other. I've always been artsy. I guess it's not as much of a quiet video as I thought. I feel like we're talking. I used to think that I was just gonna grow up and be an artist, and I didn't really, know what that meant. For a while I thought graphic design, photo manipulation, that sort of thing, but my mind isn't like logical enough to really do that every day, and I'm not so artsy. I think that I could really just like sit down at a computer and have fun all the time making crazy things with photographs or making fractal art and things like that. If you don't know what fractal art is, look it up on deviantart.com, because there's some amazing stuff out there. I use it for wallpaper on my laptop all the time, and it's just the things you can do with it. It's amazing. I don't even know how it works. I just know that it looks terribly complicated, and like I could never do it in a million years. I don't really know what I'm doing here, but I'm having fun with it, and that's really all that matters. I think it's got something to do with the ocean. Just not quite sure what at the moment. My sisters like to do art too. We got a nice tabletop easel for Christmas. And, oops, totally dropped my brush there. I haven't used it yet, because even though I have canvases, I've been doing a lot of sketching and watercolor pencils, so not really a thing to use an easel for. Watercolors is sort of my favorite. Now I've lost what the word is. Mode. It's not mode. It's not type. It's medium. That's the word. Medium of art, I guess. I like drawing with pens, and I like drawing with watercolor pencils and then doing water on top, and doing watercolors. Hard watercolors, I like this. I don't like as much the kind you take out of the tube, even though that can be easier to manipulate, I guess, kind of. But anyways, I have this one hard watercolor set. How many colors has it got? I don't know exactly, but I got it when I was 11, and I have this one paintbrush that I got when I was 11 also. And so those are like very dear to my heart. And I don't think this is the ocean anymore. I just think it's I don't know, maybe something to do with paradise. A very odd idea of paradise. An imperfect paradise, I don't know. Paradise, just that word suddenly came to my head. The house is really quiet now because Mom's taken the girls out shopping for a birthday present. This morning I had my ASL class. Went pretty well. Just teaching them numbers. I don't so much like teaching ASL, but my students are all perfectly good and nice and whatever, so it's not like it's a nightmare or something. It's not my forte, I guess you could say. I do love ASL though. I mean, I sign all the time, and a lot of times, like when I can't seem to get the words out, or anytime that I'm asked, like if I'm asked how to spell something, I will fingerspell it while I say it out loud. My family is just like totally used to it, so they don't like make fun of me for it anymore, which is cool. But then my other friends will see it, and I think they just sort of enjoy it because it's like very me or something. I don't know. It could just be, me overthinking everything. I overthink everything. It's kind of crazy. I overthink and underthink. I overthink the crazy little details, but I underthink what's actually important, which could be why I have certain issues in my life, but you don't really need to hear about those. You're here for relaxation. I don't know if I'm relaxing you. Hopefully I am. I like to listen. There are certain whisper videos that I like to listen to because of the voice, and then other ones where they have sounds, and I love the sounds, but I don't like the voice. It kind of ruins it, and I don't know how I like my voice. I think in the lullaby video, the bedtime stories lullaby video that I just recently put up, I think my voice was pretty nice in that one. But sometimes I think that it's not so much good for triggering ASMR, but I don't know. If anybody wants to give me feedback on that, I'd really appreciate it. I can do like a lower tone, higher tone, sound more cheerful. My mom complains that when I'm on the phone, I sound really sad or like a zombie because I don't like talking on the phone. So I just tend to mumble a bit, and it's not so great. Anyways, I don't want to do that to you guys. I want to provide the best that I can. without, you know, I don't want to go, I want to try new things, but I'm not going to go super out of my comfort zone because this fall I am going to be going away to college, so I'd like to stay in this comfy, home, comfortable zone as long as I can. Still do not know what I'm doing with this picture, but painting anything is just sort of therapeutic, and watching painting can be therapeutic, so I hope that I am providing some sort of visual brain therapy for you. My feet are falling asleep underneath me, but whatever. I really should do a ramble video. I've got so much to talk about. I've had tons of adventures, like in other countries. I lived for 16 months in England, and I've got all these great memories that are just waiting to be talked about. And I don't really talk about them to people anymore, because everybody just knows that I lived in England, so it's like whoosh, old hat. But you guys don't know, and there's a lot of cool things to talk about. So maybe I'll make a nice rambly video for you soonish. I've been trying to save up my money, you know, so I don't want to spend it on a 3D or binaural microphone. Hopefully that's okay, because I mean, I am going to be spending a lot of time in college on college stuff. I know there are people out there that manage to get more than just college stuff done, but with my personal characteristics, I doubt I'm going to have a lot of extra time on my hands. So I'm kind of trying to squeeze in a lot of ASMR videos now. For some reason I just randomly thought that this looked Korean. I don't know why. I've really not seen a lot of Korean art. It just came into my head. Hopefully you didn't hear too much of that. Stupid car person. Honking the horn for probably a really stupid reason, but the road in front of my house is a little bit tricky, so can't really blame everyone. So, there's a painting for you. I don't know what it is and I don't know what it means, but it's an expression because it is art, and art is an expression. So, I'm thinking maybe it's curtains. Curtains. Or maybe it's just nothing, and I'm happy for it to be nothing. I want to sort of run my hand through it and just smoosh it all up. But I'm wearing a white hoodie, and I feel like that would not be a good plan. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I don't know how long it was, but I don't know if my voice was relaxing or just sort of annoying. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Bye.